Alright, so I know it's been a little bit hectic today. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late, but we're gonna go ahead and get started with the process. You already got hired on. You did your background test. Congratulations. They said you need a little bit of work, but that's okay. That's what I'm here for. My name is Samuk, and I'll be your trainer for the next 3 weeks. I'm going to start off with just some basics for this first session, and as we kind of go on, then we'll discuss some of the areas I think that you can improve on, some things that I think you're doing great in, some things that I think you can let go from your CDL school, whatever. Now, I know we told you to be here at 3 o'clock. I know it's 4:15. Things are really hectic. We had a lot of people call off today, so I was actually still trying to train 2 people at one time, driving, helping out around the yard. So it's been a little bit crazy. But let's go ahead and get started. I don't want to waste no more time. You are going to get paid for this. No worries. Okay? You're going to be paid. I'm going to go ahead and get some information from you. And then I'll kind of tell you some things that I expect during training, how the process is going to go throughout, what our day is going to look like. Clearly my mind is all over the place. Let me just get your information first. Spell your first name for me. Wait, can you say it? Can you spell it again? Your name is long. It's pretty though. And then what's your middle name? Is that spelled regular or is it spelled? Excuse me. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, that's why I asked, because sometimes people's names are not spelled how they sound. Glad I asked, because honey child, I was about to spell that completely different. And then how do you spell your last name? Alright. And what is your date of birth? And then just go ahead and confirm your last 4 for me. So, I'm going to go ahead and put some of this stuff into the system. Let me get my computer turned on. Let's see. I put in the wrong password. Are you kidding me? Let's see. What did they change it to? Is that right? Is that fine? Let's see. Perfect. Alright. Now, the biggest thing for me, I'm going to watch you drive. I'm going to start off when we drive in the daytime, whatever, right? You're going to be, are you going to be regional OTR? Did you already pick? Do you know what you want to do? Or okay, so OTR means over the road. Over the road is when you travel to all 48 states on, that you can travel to in a truck. Of course, there are 50 states, but all 48 states in the trucker's case, you travel to all of them. And you're typically gone, just kind of depends on what you prefer, but you're typically gone for about a week at a time. If you just kind of want to start out at a newbie pace, if you want to just be gone, and make as much money as you can, you'll be gone from 2 to 3 weeks at a time, or as long as you like. It just depends on if you want to do your resets in out of state. Resets meaning so much to freaking explain. Anyways, that's OTR. Regional is when you're kind of home like every other day, 2 to 3 days. You're always, you're home. And local is when you're home every night. So do you have a preference? Okay, OTR. Okay. You want to know my opinion? So I feel like this. I started out with OTR too. I feel like it made me a really great driver. Trip planning is going to be the biggest thing for you. You have to trip plan because there are going to be so many cases, no matter if you're using a trucking GPS or the regular GPS. There are going to be so many cases where it's going to lead you to the wrong entrance, like the car entrance, whatever. And it's going to be a lot of instances where OTR is unpredictable. And if you're prepared for unpredictable, then you'll be great. Regional is more, it's still a little bit unpredictable, but you'll go more to the more of the same places more often. So you'll kind of know how the shippers like to be dealt with, the routes that you take, the places that you stop as far as truck stops and stuff like that. And then of course local, you're home every night, so you don't have to worry about none of that stuff. So OTR though, it can make you a really great driver really, really fast, because when you're out there by yourself, you have to think right. Nobody's going to save you. It's going to be a lot of people staring, whether you're at a truck stop, whether you're at a shipper, when you mess up, people are looking, but you just have to take a deep breath. And what I've learned as a trucker is that I'm not going to rush, even if people are getting frustrated, because those people have two options. They can either wait or they can get out and help. And if they're not going to get out and help, then they're going to wait, period. But I'm not going to rush myself and get into an accident or hurt somebody, trying to back up or whatever. Anyways, OTR, are you sure? Final answer. Regional? Okay. We'll do regional. Let's go ahead and put, just going to pull your file. I don't know why this freaking computer does that all the time. This thing is just off the chain. Alright, let's see. So I'm gonna put your name in here. I'm gonna put your name, your birthday, and then your last four. We're going with regional, right? Regional. All right, regional. I'm gonna do regional. Now, for us, you're going to be based out of Ohio. So you're going to be going to Ohio. You're going to be going upper south New York. Not like New York City, but like along the Ohio state line. You're going to be going to Pennsylvania sometimes. Places like those. So that's mainly what our region consists of. Sometimes we might have you go out just a little bit further, but you'll still be home like every 2-3 days, so it'll be fine. Any questions? You can go with that. Okay, so regional, so put in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and then we're gonna go ahead and put New York. Like I said, sometimes we'll send you just a little bit further out, but yeah, nothing too crazy. Now, as far as pay, you're gonna get paid by the mileage, so it's important that you trip plan so that you can get the most out of each day, right? So you don't want to overwhelm yourself to the point where you're burnt out. So you really have to trip plan. Maybe you can drive 500 miles in one day. Maybe you can drive 600 miles in another day. Our trucks are all governed at 65 miles an hour, meaning that none of our trucks go over 65 miles an hour. Most state highways, like when you get on a long stretch, they are about 70 miles an hour, right? So you're not going to be able to go as fast as the trucks, but if you trip plan, especially depending on what time the load is due, and then on top of the time that you leave out, you can kind of gauge the traffic hours. You can cover a lot more ground. So, but we'll go over like some trip planning as we go through training and stuff like that too, okay? Alright. Now, some things that are very, very, very important that I'm going to go over to you with Pretrip. Now, I know when you were in CDO school, you kind of went over some stuff with a Pretrip, right? This is what our Pretrip sheet looks like. These are just a few sheets because we have some practice sheets and stuff too. So this is just what it looks like. All right, just like that. Now, on these Pretrip sheets, you want to make sure that you do your Pretrip the same way every single day so that you don't miss nothing, right? So with this, you're gonna go ahead and put the company name, your name. You're gonna put your truck number, but since you're gonna be OTR, you don't really have to put your truck number. You're gonna be signed a truck, so your truck number is gonna be the same every day. You don't have to put your hours. You're gonna have a thing to track, an electronic unit in your truck to track your hours, so you don't need to put that. Only thing you really need to put on here is company name, your name, the date, and then the mileage of the truck, right? Now, with the pre-trip inspection now, okay, the first thing that you kind of want to look at is the cab of the truck. So you just want to kind of like stand in front of it, look at it, make sure there's no leaks on the ground in front of the truck, make sure that the truck is level, it's not leaning on either side, right? And then from there, you kind of want to go make sure that you know that everything looks normal. There's no wires out of place. There's your tires and stuff look good. Like everything just looks normal. Okay, that's just first off. Now, like I said, the next thing on here is leaks. If you use this sheet, you won't miss anything as long as you like follow the sheet. So after you do your cab inspection, you know, just the outer layer, just make sure everything's level, whatever. That's when you want to look for the leaks that I was just talking about. Look for leaks. Make sure there's no oil leaking, no hydraulic fluid, just no oil, just nothing. Next, check your tires. You have to check your tires. Tires, fluid, lug nuts. Make sure all of your lug nuts on your tires are present. It's so important, okay? I'm gonna get you a hammer, and what you want to do, you want to take your hammer like you want to hit each tire, like just one, and you'll know that the tire is good because when you hit it, the hammer's gonna like bounce back. It'll be some bounce back. If you just hit it and it stays like that, that's when you know there's a problem with the tire. Sometimes you can kick the tire to see if it's off the ground, but best bet is either, I'm gonna get you a tire gauge too. Tire gauge is pretty quick. It'll let you know what your PSI, which is your tire pressure, what it needs to be at, whatever. But most of the time you can just go ahead, go around 18 tires, just kind of hit it with the hammer. If it bounce back, tire should be good. Make sure the lug nuts are there. Boom. Now, next thing you want to check mud flaps and fenders. Your mud flaps should be about 6 inches off the ground. You don't want them dragging. That can drag debris, which can get caught in your tires. You just don't want that. So make sure that your mud flaps are good and that they're high enough off the ground so they're not dragging when you're driving. All of your mirrors, like your mirrors are very important. You want to make sure that they're clean and that they're present. Granted, you can drive without your hood mirrors, but since you're like more of a new driver, I don't want you driving like without your hood mirrors or anything like that. For your truck, I'm gonna make sure that we get you a truck that has all of your mirrors, and so you kind of, you know, the more that you drive, you kind of might get comfortable, because sometimes they'll let it slide if you're missing a hood mirror or maybe like the bottom mirror that reflects like the side of the truck. But yeah, make sure you check your mirrors. Engine oil, right? So the engine oil, you want to turn your truck off, let it sit maybe for like 5 minutes, whatever, 2-3 minutes, who cares? And then you take out the oil, dip it, and then you take a paper towel or dirt, paper towel, and then you just, you put all the oil off, put it back in there, and then after that, you stick it back in there, and then you will just make sure it needs to be between the minimum and the maximum. It can be closer to the maximum, but You just need to make sure that you have enough oil, especially since you're over the road. You have to have enough oil, because if you don't, that's gonna shoot your engine and then you're gonna be completely fucked. So you don't want that. As far as the door steps, handles, and the deck plates, I don't know what deck plates are, but I do know what the door steps and handles. Now, you want to always use 3 points of contact when you get up in your truck. So you want to make sure that everything is sturdy whenever you're lifting up into the truck, whatever. After you do that, then you just kind of want to just go down the list. Check your seat belt. Make sure that you have your CDL, med-card registration, insurance documents. Those are important if you get pulled over by DOT. I'm gonna let you know now, truck tickets and car tickets it's not the same. You get a speeding ticket in the truck, you're probably at like $2,000 easy. Okay, so just make sure you got your shit together, because we don't want you out there getting flagged. We're also gonna practice weighing your loads. This don't have nothing to do with Pretrip, but since we're talking about tickets, they will really get you for tickets if you are overweight on your load. Okay, so yeah, all right. The air is not distracting you, is it? It's a little warm in here, so typically the air goes on. Okay, listen, are you good? You good? You need one of these papers? I just need you to, once we get past this, we're gonna go get in the truck. I'm gonna do it for real, but I just want to kind of go over it first, because you know when you hear things and you actually do them, it's like a little good reminder, right? So yeah. Now your dash warnings, your regen lights, and your gauges. So you need to make sure, the most important thing when you first turn on your truck, make sure that engine oil gauge goes up between, make sure it's around like 40, 45, okay? If it does not go up within the first 5 seconds, turn that truck off, because that can mess up your engine. If you mess up the engine, you cannot drive. And if you can't drive, you ain't making no money. If you ain't making no money, you're gonna get evicted. If you get evicted, you ain't got no place to live. You ain't got no place to live. You get what I'm saying, right? All right. So you want to do that. Check your water temperature. Your water temperature should be between 170 to 10. You want to make sure that you check your PSI for your tires. Your PSI should be about 120, 125. What else? Oh, and then you also want to check your battery voltage. Your battery voltage should be between like 12 and 14. Okay, so you want to make sure that all of your gauges work. Your ABS light should which is your brake system. That light should pop on and it should stay on for a second, but then it should go off. If it does not go off, then you can still drive, but you need to let somebody know immediately so that they can get that checked out. Okay. Now the fuel level, make sure that you got enough fuel in the truck to make it from point A to B. Okay. Your depth fluid, you need the depth fluid so that you can use your engine brake. All right. And we'll talk more about the engine brake like when you get on the road, because when we get up in the mountains, then I'll show you how to use your engine brake so that you don't burn your brakes out and that you don't have to use like one of those emergency exit ramps. Okay. Steering mechanism, transmission shifts, backup alarm, got that glass check, make sure your windshields, all your windows and stuff like that is working. Make sure your wiper blades and horn is working. You have to make sure your horn is working. It's very important when you're driving. You can see somebody, but they don't always see you. And the number one thing in accidents is driver error. Okay, so you need to make sure that horn is working. So even if you can't brake in time, you gotta maybe run through a red light last minute. Don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. But you just you know. All right. So now, heater, defroster, very important. AC, all of that stuff needs to work. You gotta keep your windows clear, so your defroster has to work. Heater, AC has to work. Fifth wheel and latch. Fifth wheel and boom operation. We'll make sure that stuff works. You have to have at least 3 spare fuses, okay, in your truck. I'll make sure of that. Service and parking brakes, we'll do that. Emergency equipment now, so you have to have your fire extinguisher. You have to have 3 triangles, a safety strap, and a spill kit. Okay, so I'll make sure that's in your truck too. And then you have to check all the lights. So you want to make sure your headlights are working. Your trailer lights are working, your high beams are working, your low beams are working, your hazards are working, left blinker, right blinker. You just need to make sure that everything is working, and you know, we'll go over that too. So yeah, your marker lights, reflector, got your reflector tape, all of that. This also says drain water from air tanks, but that's more in the wintertime. You don't really have to do more focus on that in the summertime. And you want to drain those air tanks so that the air does not freeze, and your brakes won't go out, okay? But we don't really have to worry about that. It's summertime, hot girl summer. We don't got to worry about that. And then the last three things: hydraulic fluid level, engine coolant, and washer fluid, right? And those things, you just want to always make sure that they're between the minimum and the maximum amount, right? Always want to check all your wires. Always want to check and make sure that nothing is leaking, that you don't hear any audible leaks, that you don't see anything leaking, that you don't see any loose wires, that you don't see any exposed wires, stuff like that. But once we go out into the truck, I'll make sure that I'm sure you passed CDL school. What? Why am I talking to you like you'll be fine? But I just want to make sure our main focus is us doing the pre-trip the same way every single time, so that whenever you're out there on your own, that you don't forget anything on a pre-trip, because that's where people really mess up. When they skip something on a pre-trip, something could have been avoided. You might, one of your lug nuts or your tires might be missing. You went out on the road, got a busted tire, your tire flies off the handle and hurt somebody. So just gotta be so careful, and that's things that we can prevent with a pre-trip. So that's why it's so important, okay? So once we do all of that, you're gonna check if everything's good over here. Anything that's not good, you're gonna check that it needs repair. You're gonna put any additional comments, if there's a cracked window, if there's a loose bumper, if there's not a working light. Well, of course, we're not gonna drive if it's not a working light, because we don't want DOT to give us a $2,000 ticket. Nobody got time for that. And then from there, you're gonna go ahead and put your name, get a signature, and a date. So this is the rundown. This is a very important sheet. I need for you to follow this every day that we're on the road, and every day thereafter, even when I'm not there with you anymore, right? But yeah, this is really important. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you some of these. I'm gonna get you a pen, and let's go out here and work on our pre-trip, okay? So once we get our pre-trip and we actually get on the road, I'll show you some of the other stuff that I was talking about as far as parking, what people are kind of like stressed out trying to get to where they want to go, and you might be taking a little bit long to park and you can't worry about them like so, but we'll get more into that. Let's go focus on the pre-trip. Okay.